Now, I'm aware that I'm a very, very, very lucky person in that I get to test golf clubs and bring my findings to you guys. And very rarely does a driver stick in my head. Very rarely do I test a golf club and think, oh, I can't wait to test that again. I can't wait to get it in the studio. I can't wait to get it on the golf course. I'm well aware that I've just ruined this entire introduction. But guys, this is the Srixon ZX5 Driver again, but with numbers and cool stuff. And let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here guys. First things first, I'd like to warmly welcome you all back to the channel, especially if you saw some of the drives that I hit with the Srixon ZX5 Driver last week. You see, just like this title says, I don't very often hit a driver and then think, oh, you know what, and kind of think about it over dinner, think about it when you're talking with your friends at the pub and kind of bring it up in conversation. But this one's different. And you see, it might well be because I took it out on the golf course and played a couple of holes with it and actually played quite well for a change. It might well be because we had a huge epic long drive contest with Gaz and with Foxy the high handicap golfer. And it might just be because I haven't had a chance to hit it yet in the studio and see just quite how far it is actually going. You see, a lot of people really enjoyed that video and I love testing golf clubs on course for you. That's something which I'm going to do a lot more this summer now golf is finally back open. But I still want to know how it performs. I still want to know what the spin rate's like, what the ball speed's like, how far does it go? I also got the ZX5 and the ZX7 mixed up in the video, so I'll explain that a little bit more as well. First, let's hit a few because there's something about this club that just made me want to come and hit it again. And I can't say that for many golf clubs, so right. Come on, Srixon. Masters winning driver. Oh, yes, please. And you see, when I explain the technology in the Srixon ZX5 Driver, a lot of people said, well, that can't be right because the COR, the coefficients of restitution of a club face, has to be 0.83, it has to be within the rules, it has been for quite some time, so what are Srixon harping on about? And that, in summary, is what a lot of the comments were around. And you see, Srixon say that the Srixon ZX5 Driver has a spring-in-spring technology. And that doesn't mean like a season within a season. It means that the driver has a rigid zone, a flex zone, another rigid zone, and obviously a flex zone on the face. So that's a spring-in-spring. It doesn't just flex from the club face, it has another flexing point here on the crown. That, in essence, is the Rebound frame technology. And Srixon believe in it that much, they even put it on the head cover, which I think is a little bit kind of overkill. But apart from that, the head cover is quite nice. Let's hit a couple more with the Srixon ZX5 and see just how much of an impact that technology has on these ball flights. So far, I'm quite impressed. We've managed to keep it on the planet, which is always good. I have been, as you all know, hitting it left for quite some time. That's a 280 one, that last one, spinning at 2.2, which I'd take all day long. Oh, down the pipe. So a big point of this video as well, and the previous video that I did with the Srixon driver, is a question I've got. Would you use a Srixon driver? I know so many people who use Srixon golf balls, Srixon AD333 golf balls, Srixon Z-Star golf balls, Srixon distance golf balls, but I don't know many people who use Srixon golf clubs, apart from one guy who plays quite well, wears a green jacket, Hideki, I think his name is. Another guy, plays well, claret, drinks out of a claret jug, mainly Guinness. Shane, I think they call him. Use. If you know him, I don't know, maybe you know of them. Maybe you're acquaintances, but come on. Oh, I've hit that one hard. That's left. That's left. Oh, left! I just don't know what it is about this driver that's made me want to do a second video on it, but there's something in there which I just like. Oh, that's left again though. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting a driver to salvage any of my bad shots because they are pretty much unsalvageable. There's no kind of real adjustment on the, oh actually, let's put it a bit flatter. Let's see if that can help, because this is something which you can do on a golf course, but You have to really test stuff like this in the studio. With 6 shots in, we'll hit 12. Wow, that looks complicated. If you are thinking about doing this, maybe either get an algebra book or just someone who definitely knows what they're talking about. Can't seem to get it back on. Maybe you just have to grab it with the thread. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. So, as you can see here on the Srixon website, what I've done now with the driver is set it on a standard loft and a little bit flatter lie. So it's 9.5 degrees, but a slightly flatter lie. It has moved around the shaft graphics, was a little bit annoying. I think if you did go and get fitted for this, obviously they'll be able to fit it into the hosel with the shaft graphics where you want, but we're just having to play around with it. Straight away, it kind of sits a little bit nicer for me. I don't feel like I have to try and tweak the face open to save it. And hopefully, in fact, let's just take a look at the numbers before this and we'll do a bit of a comparison so you can see quite varying ball shots, quite varying swings actually as well. But, I mean, 3 bad shots and 3 pretty decent shots. Numbers-wise, we're pretty much where we would expect to be, but can that go up if a little bit more of a confidence-inspiring lie angle can help us even maybe hit the ball a little bit harder and keep it on the planet, which would no doubt help. Straighter. So maybe the conversations in the pub might be a slightly different topic. It's not bad, but I'm bad. I'm rubbish. Hey, that's the one. Yes, please. Still a little bit left, but we just aim right and then we're all right. One of the things which I absolutely love about this driver is the visuals of it. So it's not very loud and out there. It's not got loads of colours on the top. We've got a little bit of a red outline on the back, but apart from that, just that nice carbon crown lets you know there's a bit of technology in there, and that's obviously there for the weight saving so that Srixon can distribute the weight evenly across the head to give you that perfect match of MOI and spin rate and all that good stuff. Right, let's stand on this one now. See if we can carry a kind of 280, 285, that would be wonderful. Ooh, 277. 27, again, it's a little bit left again. Ah. Good. Right, one more shot, then we've had 6 with each. I think the differences, I think the distances are going to be very, very similar. The lie angle change hasn't really helped. It's kind of not really done much. But we've certainly all had those days where you just can't seem to hit it where you want to hit it. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are in play. We hit a lot worse, but we also have been known to hit a lot better. That's such a great swing. Spinning at sub 2. I'm going to take the positives there. Let's take a look at the numbers and see how it's performing. You see, very consistent, apart from that, those 2 there. And again, on average, pretty much exactly where you would expect it. You see, laterally, they have all gone pretty a long way left. Club head speed 107, ball speed 158.2, spinning at 2289 on average. So, certainly some food for thought there with the indoor testing of the Srixon ZX5. A little bit disappointed, not so much in the club, but in myself, because I've just not quite been able to hit it as I would have liked to. The numbers have stood up quite well for how I've struck it, so I will say that for it as well. I think this has to be a contender. I'm going to do loads and loads of testing, and to be honest, by the time I've worked out what driver I probably will use this year, we'll be going into next year, but with what's happened with lockdowns and things like that, I want to do more and more on-course testing. So for the guys who only want to see numbers, I'm going to try and do more stuff like that as well. I have done most of the 2021 drivers in the studio, so search the channel for those if you want to see them, but I'm going to take them all outside and just see how they perform on the course as well, because that is really where it all matters. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that indoor video on the Srixon ZX5 driver. For me, definitely a driver that you should be looking at in 2021 if you are in the market for a new driver, but make sure you go and get fitted, because that's quite confusing. Apart from that, guys, smash that subscribe button if you haven't done already, leave us a like and comment below. I don't know. Hi. It's been a long day.